All right. A few more people. Come on over. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to Founders Live. Welcome to the Tech Experience 5G Hub by T-Mobile. I'm Nick Hughes. I'm the founder and CEO of Founders Live. And y'all ready for a great event today? Before we get started, I'm going to bring up Melissa Reeves, who you'll hear from later in the event, but she's going to share with us and open the experience.
Hi. We would like to begin today by honoring the ancestral stewards of this land that we are all gathered on today. These had thousands of Native Americans, indigenous tribes, nations, pueblos, and communities. And it is from this work that helps us at Founders Live embrace and celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so we learned that on this zip code, the following tribes were here: the Cayuse, Walla Walla, Duwamish, Snoqualmie, and Stillaguamish. And for that, may we start today with a very powerful event. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. You know, it's so nice to be here. And before we get started, I just want to share that it's a really special day and special person in the room. My mom is here today. This is not her very first Founders Live event, but, you know, it is special when she's in the room, so great. Again, want to welcome you to Founders Live Athletes Edition. You all that have been following Founders Live for a while, you know, and I'll speak a little bit more about Founders Live, but this is a very unique and special experience. We have incredible guests and incredible people. The founders that are pitching today have unique backgrounds, and we're just really excited. So we welcome you to the Athletes Edition. We've done this more associated with the Major League Baseball All-Star Game here in Seattle, and it's just a really special thing. But I want to share with you a little thoughts. I am fresh back from a 5-month tour on the road, spending time in South America. And, you know, as we get started, there's some themes here today that you're going to get, but that was my last 5 months. It was a hell of a trip, all right? And starting in February, which is amazing because I left Seattle, we went down to Phoenix, and we had our first Founders Live Athletes event at the Super Bowl down in Phoenix. And, you know, Jordan will share a lot about that as well, but it was amazing. But then I jumped on a plane to Argentina and started this trip. And 5 months, 22,500 miles, 10 cities, 8 countries, 150 nights in Airbnbs, and thousands of people. I get this a lot now. First of all, why are you doing this? Why are you traveling? And you know, what did I learn? And when you're on a trip like this, you have time to think and you have time to consider. And I could spend the entire day talking to you and sharing the experiences. Some of them are, you know, a little more crazy than others. But this word came to me. This word. Edges, edge, going to the edge of the world, pushing yourself. And I want to share a few thoughts that I think are helpful here. Growth happens at the edges, okay? Growth does not happen when you're comfortable, when you're in the center. Growth happens when you push yourself and when you go to the edge. I can tell you right now, when you go on a trip like that, you go to the edge of where you think your capacity is, okay? And when you realize that growth happens at the edges, you then almost become addicted to growth and addicted to going to these places because this is where you stretch yourself, okay? And I would encourage you to understand, to get uncomfortable and stay uncomfortable. Founders in here, anyone that's working on amazing things, and this applies to everyone, but founders, oh my God, get uncomfortable and stay uncomfortable because that's where you will see the growth. Trust me. The second thing, at the edge, you redefine success. When you travel like what I've done, last year I was in Indonesia for a couple months. I'm visiting our Founders Live cities and meeting our people. And this year, spending months and months and months in Latin America, I have realized success is much different than what we are told. And it's not about the unicorn, like creating a unicorn or $1 billion company. It's not about that. It's about meaning. It's about purpose. It's about creating value in this world, serving customers, building sustainable models. This is what success is about. I have met a ton of founders. They're never going to create $1 billion company, but they're going to be very successful. And I think we all need to fully understand that, okay? And the third one, rough edges can be sharpened. When you go down in these parts of the world, it's not just Latin America, but when you go into these parts of the world, they are rough, developing. But these people will be sharpened. This area will be sharpened, and that's where the opportunity is. That's where the potential is. So when I realize, when I go to the edge of the world, when I meet these people, and they are challenging areas at times, I see potential and I see opportunity. And I would hope that you all would understand that as well. So, just to finish off there, this is why I travel. And this is why, what started in Seattle and being able to be in a city randomly and meet our leaders there and meet the founders that we've impacted is truly a blessing. But it also is a growth opportunity for myself and for the organization. So I hope that was helpful. I just wanted to share that. That was on my mind today. Sorry about that. But we are here today for inspiration, education, and entertainment. And, Founders Live is really, we're an ecosystem that brings community and connecting people. It brings resources, it brings information, and it brings opportunity to entrepreneurs around the world. And we do this through our ecosystem and our global platform that brings all of this together. When you look at our events through our global ecosystem and network, as well as these live local events, these happen all around the world. Our monthly events, we have hundreds of guests like this. We have 5 founders that pitch. They each will pitch for 99 seconds today. You all will have an opportunity to ask questions. That's the beauty of this. You're going to ask questions, and they're going to answer them. Then we will all vote on which one we think is the one that resonated with us. Of course, they're all great, but there's going to be a winner out of this. So as we build this out, our aim is to become, and we are getting there, the industry-defining brand of entrepreneurship around the world. It's really, really exciting. So what started in Seattle is now continually massively growing around the world. I mean, we reach, it's 105, if not 110 cities across 45 countries, tens of thousands. We reach hundreds of thousands of people, and this thing is picking up speed. It's amazing. We're going to launch 20 cities in the next quarter, so in above on that. So we're absolutely excited. It's so amazing to see that entrepreneurship is a human desire, and we will continue to expand around the world to serve that. So if you're, just to note, one of the new cities, Astana, Kazakhstan. Yeah, I didn't know how to spell it either. It's amazing, right? So we're excited to launch there this month. We got a great team there, and Pakistan is now on the map, and we're excited to see that happen. So if you know anyone or you want to start this in your city, let us know. Reach out to us. We're excited. And last thing I will bring up before Jordan will join me on the stage here is our 5 core values. These are why we're expanding around the world. These are one of the main reasons. So the first one, we're here, as you heard Melissa talk today, respectful authenticity. And this is really about inclusion. We believe everyone, and as I travel around the world, this is so much more important to me now than ever. We believe everyone has an equal opportunity for success. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter your skin color, doesn't matter what language you speak, even though I have a difficult time understanding Spanish. That was my last 5 months. Equal opportunity for success. So, respectful authenticity is really about respecting everyone in their own unique way. The second one is really around gather around the campfire. And hey, we're figuratively gathering around a campfire just like our ancestors, just like before technology, they had the campfire and they were telling stories about the visions of the future. We're doing that today. We're storytelling, we're entertaining. So we encourage you to find your campfire. Thirdly is open the door. Do great things for people without expecting a return. This is about helping people. This is about doing the right thing, doing great things for people. It comes back to you tenfold. That's the community that's happening around the world, and that's the one that I want to see continue to grow. Fourth is really about business equals fun. Hey, have fun while doing business, and this is a work day for me. I hope it's a fun work day for you as well, and we encourage that. Last one is really around climate consciousness, and we all have a job to do in understanding how ourselves and our business impact the climate that we live in, and lessening that where possible. And we want to encourage many people around the world to think about that. Speaking of edges, we have a group of people today that in one way in their life looked for the edge, gained the edge, and excelled in athletics. And now they're doing that in business. And the first one I want to bring up here is Jordan Babineau. Jordan, welcome to the stage. Let's hear it for Jordan. This is an exciting story. Jordan, NFL veteran, you please introduce yourself and then tell us about what struck your heart and you wanted to help start this angle of Founders Live.
Yeah, all right. Good morning, afternoon. Good afternoon. This is the third Monday in the last 7 days that we've all had, given the holiday fell in the middle of the week last week. So quickly, I'll tell a quick story how Nick and I met, and then the enthusiasm of how and what sparked the interest of bringing Founders Live Athletes Edition. So thanks to Megan, I was hanging out at the Collective and saw two very bright, smart-looking gentlemen having a whiteboard session. And I immediately interrupted and asked them, hey, what are you guys doing? Look like you're important people and working on something world-changing. They kindly told me to leave, and I hung out by the bar until they were done. So that's how Nick and I met. I think it was Luis who kicked me out. So Nick and I just really chatted about, his passion for entrepreneurship and wanting to help others. Obviously, there's a legacy play that's built into it, right? And whether Nick says it or not, I think it's leaving the world a better place. And so we talked about what he's doing in the Founders Live community and the things that he was building around this entrepreneur community. I was like, well, there's a no-brainer. I mean, a lot of athletes transition to become entrepreneurs. Is there an athlete's version of this that we can do? I don't know. We were about 3 months away from the biggest game in, sports, and decided that, at the heels of Super Bowl would be a great place to launch Founders Live. And so, as we've coined the phrase that you've probably seen on bumper stickers, make happen. So that's exactly what we did.
That's what we did.
And that's what we did. And here we are with MLB in our backyard. Figured that we can spin things up fairly easy given the fact that Seattle has a great Founders Live presence. So here we are today, and thank each one of you for joining us.
Thank you. And whether it needs to be said or not, no, Jordan, you just incredible presence of making this happen. And, the Super Bowl event was kind of our trial, but we did make shit happen. And now we're here, right? And through this process, we've discovered another path, and it's a really exciting path. So, Founders Live, as we know it, will continue, but we will continue to build this new arm serving people that need the support, education, and exposure that have a previous professional athletic background as well. So this is awesome. We will continue forward, but Jordan will be leading our panel discussion happening very, very soon. So thank you, Jordan. As I mentioned, we have some special guests that are going to say a few words right before we get going, but we'll have a great panel discussion. We have a number of guests here. Jordan will lead that. And we're talking about, again, what he mentioned, the experience of athletes transitioning and turning to entrepreneurs. There's correlations, but there's also challenges. And so we have a number of people that have experienced that. We will then have a pitch competition. 5 amazing founders will tell their story. They'll share their passion. We'll go through that in a second, but each one will have an opportunity. And then we'll have food, networking, and just drinks and all good times. But before that, we actually have some more special guests. So we're going to bring up T-Mobile first, and then Lynn will join us in a second after the T-Mobile. But can we have Dan and Aaron will join the stage? And hey, everyone, can we just look around and appreciate this incredible environment that we're in? Let's hear it for T-Mobile.
Thanks, sir. We good? All right.
Good afternoon.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much. Okay.
Wow. Okay, we were under our, there, we got it right.
There we go. Yeah, nice. We're going to start the rest of this presentation with a short video. I'm just kidding.
Oh, we
so-
do? Nope, okay.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, thank you very much. Wow, okay, we are.
We built the largest, fastest 5G network in the country. And with that comes technology advancements and innovation and transformation.
We know 5G will redefine how people live, work, and play. And we have created some incredible resources for emerging companies.
Exciting new cases will emerge and scale on this incredible network.
You ain't seen nothing like this yet.
Very nice.
All right.
Whoever ran that video, I'm sure I totally caught you off guard because I completely messed up the timing there. But I just want to take a minute, Aaron and I both did, first of all, to say thank you. It's really interesting because I heard Nick say a lot of really, really interesting things that resonate for us here at T-Mobile. Nick talked about being out on the edge and how you want to be there because you can strive and you can really get the most out of what there is to get from being on the edge. He also talked a lot about values. And it's one of the reasons why we're all here today. When I first met the Founders Live organization, I realized right away that we have very similar values around diversity, around equity, around inclusion, around building a community that helps people get to the edge and push themselves to the edge to deliver something that is in their heart, in their soul, that they're trying to make happen. Right? And so it's a really good connection. And as part of that, it's one of the reasons why we're all here today. because of those alignment and values and the opportunity to meet these guys and talk with them, it created an opportunity for all of us to spend our afternoon here at the 5G Hub. Super excited about that. I guess I could go back to the beginning. My name's Dan Thigeson. I am the SVP of a line of business here at T-Mobile called Wholesale. And Wholesale is a function within T-Mobile that is focused on partnerships and relationships. And the reason we're excited about having everybody here today is because we are here to help people unlock their dream, especially by way of connectivity and our 5G network. So one of the things we like to do is we like to lean into relationships like this and opportunities like this so we can sort of get the message out that we are here to support you. If you have an idea, if you have a thought, if you have a process, if you have a product, and any of those things need connectivity to a network, then we want to be part of that journey, getting to the edge and driving your success with you, right? So there will be some QR codes up here in a little bit. If you are interested in having a business conversation and you think there's something there, or you want to learn a little bit more about how to be in the business, make sure you click on that QR code, and we will reach out to you and we'll set up that discussion, help you understand a little bit about what it takes to get access to the network, to spend some time in this amazing building plugging into our 5G network. So, Erin, I'll hand it to you.
Thanks, Dan. Well, hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name's Erin Rainey, and I'm Senior Director here at T-Mobile. My team's responsible for the 5G Hub. This is T-Mobile's Innovation Center, and it's such an exciting time for T-Mobile and our industry when it comes to 5G. T-Mobile is leading the industry with 5G, but most importantly, 5G brings new capabilities. And I have friends and family always ask, well, what is 5G really about? It's not about your phone. It's about connecting our world and enabling new solutions, new partnerships, new applications, new businesses, because connectivity is foundational to that. So what we do here is we are all about innovation. We're all about enabling and working with partners, startups, developers, entrepreneurs to help bring these new businesses and products to life. So again, we're excited to host you guys here today. If you have an idea, as Dan was saying, or a product or a prototype that you would like to integrate with 5G, let us know. You can also scan this QR code as well. We can have you here. You can leverage the latest in 5G technologies, and along with the support of our experts here at T-Mobile as well. So please reach out. Again, excited to host you guys and looking forward to today's pitches.
Very nice. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. Could not do this event without our great partners. So we thank T-Mobile. We want to bring up our next special guest, and we have the mayor of the city of Bellevue, Lynn Robinson.
Well, good afternoon. It's great to see you all. I love it when they put my picture up with me here. I'm just so excited that Founders Live is here in Bellevue. I feel like we've achieved this new cool factor by having you here. And I also love that the founder of the founder is here, your mom. I just want to... I want to welcome you all here today. I think it's really great that this event is here in Bellevue, and I think it's wonderful that you're all here. So do you mind if I brag a little bit about Bellevue? I don't get to do this often enough. Okay, I made notes because there's just so much to say. So just this year, we've won some great awards. This is one of the most sought-after communities in the country. We're one of the top 10 places to live, desirable places to live in the United States. We're the second fittest city in the country. I don't know how we got that, but we do. We are one of I think the 5th safest city for a female traveler. And I mean, we have great schools, we have wonderful community health, which means we have a clean environment, we have access to health care. We have a lot of work to do, obviously, every city does, but I'm really proud of our city and what we have done so far, and I'm so thrilled to have you here. How many of you are Bellevue residents? All right, well, maybe we'll get some more after today. Another great thing, let me talk about business. Just so far this year, we keep hearing about, is there a recession coming? Are things slowing down? Just this year, we've attracted 650 new businesses to Bellevue. And that's a credit to organizations like T-Mobile who have things like this, but it's a big credit to our economic development team at the city. They have a wonderful small business support program, which I would encourage you to look up on our website. We have a special group working with minority-owned and female-owned businesses. We have something called Startup 425, which helps entrepreneurs, and we've just hired 2 founders in residence. So they are doing their work, and they're there to mentor you while you do your work. So we have a lot of resources for you. 97% of business in Bellevue is small business. We hear a lot about our big businesses, but really the small business is our heart and soul. I started my own business when my youngest child went to kindergarten. The week he went to kindergarten, I did my pitch. And that sustained my family for 20 years until my kids graduated, so thank you. And we also have great partnerships with our BDA, our Bellevue Downtown Association, and our chamber. They have a lot of programs as well. But the other thing about Bellevue that I think is so great for this group is we're nimble. As an athlete, who shows up that day is not always predictable. As an athlete, you got to work with what your strength is that day. Sometimes your equipment fails you. Sometimes the plan you come in with to play the game doesn't work, and you have to adjust. Bellevue, we saw this during COVID particularly. What a nimble group we were. So Bellevue's bread and butter used to be the executive lunch. Our most popular times in Bellevue were midday, weekday. All that has changed, but I can tell you that through our nimbleness, we have recovered and we're better. And every Saturday, we welcome 90,000 new people to Bellevue. Every Saturday. And so now the big business is brunch. So all our restaurants are, pivoting around that, and all the small businesses are as well. We're innovative, you know that, but do you know that Bellevue received more patents in our city during COVID than any other city in the country? I can't tell you why, but I think it's cool. And our community partnerships. We have amazing community partnerships, and our partnership with T-Mobile is just one of them. We've done safety projects, PED bike safety projects with them that I'm really proud of, and it really helps us achieve our Vision Zero, which is 0 crashes, major crashes or deaths each year, which, we're not there yet. We're close. But we need to work hard, and we need to work with those partnerships. But it's those innovations that we have with our partnerships helping us to achieve our goals that I'm really proud of. And I think that's why this is such a great place for you to be. And I'm glad you're here today. And please connect with me on LinkedIn. That's my thing. And I would love to stay in touch with you. Thank you for being here today, and good luck. Oh, one more thing. You talked about being on the edge. Yeah. That's your job. My job is to connect you.
I love it. Thank you, thank you. All right. Well, we are excited to move on to the first. Oh, actually, as we get prepared, so the panelists, Jordan, get your team ready. I want to bring up Team Founders Live Seattle. So Amelia and Kelly and Luis, jump up here. As we transition into our first experience of panel discussion, I want to celebrate, look, Founders Live, you saw the map. We're all over the world. I can't be there all the time. I choose to travel when I want. We have city leaders that represent Founders Live. They are our heart and soul. This is how Founders Live functions. So introducing our Seattle team real quick, since we're in Seattle. We have Amelia Markworth.
Hey, everyone.
So we'll have Amelia, and then Kelly will say a few words as well. So, Amelia, go ahead.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Amelia Markworth, and I have been the city lead for Founders Live Seattle for a couple years now. I have been off for the last 6 months with my new baby daughter, raising the cutest baby in the world. Yep, baby Denny. And during that time, I was so honored to hand over the reins to Kelly, who did a fantastic job. Who here went to some of the Founders Live events the last 6 months? Yes, they were a great time. So I'm so grateful for that. I am easing back in now. So starting up next month, we'll be tag teaming it. But it has been such a fun part of my life being with Founders Live Seattle. I started out just in the audience like you guys a few years ago. And now I'm leading the show with the best sidekick in town. So thank you, Kelly.
Hey everyone, I'm Kelly. I'm happy to be here. I stepped in as the interim Founders Live City lead when Amelia was out, and now I'm stepping into the co-lead city lead position with Amelia, which is going to be a lot of fun. I love the Founders Live community. I started going years ago when it was up in Cap Hill, and just was very inspired by the people that I met, the founders, and I love that still comes through today, and that's why I'm still here, and love these special events that we can put on to really put a focus on a different part of the community, and so excited to see all the pitches and the panel today. And then here,
And
you have a mic.
the man
Hello.
behind the scenes, doing it all.
Yeah, I work directly with Nick. My name's Luis Antizana. I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here and for our partners. We just couldn't do it without you, and it's not about me, so I'm going to just get out of the way. I just want to be...
Well, not so
I just
quick,
wanted to say
Luis. Not so quick. Most everything you all receive from Founders Live is originated from this man. So let's give it up. He does a great job.
It's about you guys.
We pack a big punch. We're a small team, so it's exciting. And thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure.
It is a pleasure.
Yeah. All right.
Serving everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, and then Seattle. The next Seattle event will be the end of August, and then the end of September. We'll be back right here. We're excited to be back right here for Founders Live Seattle in September. So our team is working real hard on that. Okay. First, our panel discussion here. We're really excited. Jordan, I'll hand it over to you, and you bring up your guests, and let's rock and roll.
Mic check. Yep, we're good. 3, 4. You need one more? One more, please. All right. Well, we'll make the introductions. I'll start with the managing partner of 76 Capital. Please welcome Wayne Kimmel. Fourth-round draft pick of the Miami Dolphins and now founder of Postseason. Please help me welcome Jelani Jenkins. Your Indian Tribe Player of the Year, probably of the state. It's when she was in her prime, and now leading Rise Above, a youth engagement nonprofit organization. Please help me welcome Jackie McCormick. And I have one seat to fill. This comes as no surprise because this guy wowed me the moment he started talking. I just met him today. Byron Robinson, former track athlete for Adidas and now leads an investment banking company. Yeah. I told you he was impressive. All right, well, I want to start our conversation, and while it's centered around finances and entrepreneurship, there's a lot of things that's happening on, in the landscape of all of your industries, the sports industry specifically, and so we'll dive into that a little bit, share some experiences, successes, and failures, and then hopefully our great audience can have a few takeaways and things to apply that'll help make them better people, better entrepreneurs. Jelani, I'll start with you because transitioning away from sports isn't always easy, particularly when you've created an identity and really walked into a stage where everyone screaming, know your name, you know exactly what you're doing, and suddenly the curtains close, the scoreboard goes off, no more fans, and you're trying to figure things out. How was life for you after football when you were dealing with that transition?
Yeah, so first off, thank you for having me. The transition for me, initially after playing 5 years in the NFL, my whole life playing football, I was excited because I felt like I was seeing the world for the first time and able to do things that I wasn't able to do before. I found myself like diving into my creative passions that I gave up when I was a kid, and I was looking forward to that. And part of me was kind of like taking on this approach, like I'm so much more than an athlete. I'm like leaving that behind, and I eventually burnt out with that mindset because I am an athlete, and now that's a big part of who I am. And so like shunning the identity of an athlete actually worked against my favor, and it was very challenging. And you'll also see like in my pitch as well, it was a very challenging time, but I really was able to navigate it in a meaningful way when I fully embraced who I was as an athlete and just look to keep that identity through fitness training, through training for a marathon, just through pushing myself athletically, because that's when I felt most like myself. And I just redirected my focus towards something else that I was passionate about, and that's still how I really approach it today. But initially it was very, very, very challenging.
You dealt with those challenges, and then so how did postseason come about while you were going through that phase?
Yeah, so initially when I was in my darkest state, I reached out to the head of player development for the Miami Dolphins. His name is Caleb Thornhill, and I told him some of my interests, and he connected me with someone who's one of my really good mentors now. And this guy, he's a platinum member with Tony Robbins, so he brought me to a Tony Robbins event. For those of y'all who understand what that's like, it's kind of crazy. It's insane, actually. We walked on fire. It was just a whole thing. And it was an eye-opening experience, and it kind of gave me like this new passion for like coaching and wanting to impact people. I kind of got like this just bulk of energy. And I initially went into coaching and was trying to figure out like who exactly I wanted to coach. I didn't really feel confident enough at the time. And so that's why I went to train for the marathon. But this was all a result of like that experience. And then I started like reading a bunch of books, went through this whole self-discovery process, started doing yoga, started meditating, started just figuring out who I was fully. And I eventually found the confidence in how I was able to navigate the transition. And I was like, you know what, a lot of athletes are feeling what I felt like. And I did this market research where at the time I interviewed 55 former collegiate and professional athletes within this 5-week span and asked them like, what were your biggest fears? What were your biggest frustrations? What did you wish you had when you left the game? And I learned so much, and I learned that this is a big problem, and no one's talking about it. And all of us feel like we're the only ones going through it because we're not talking to one another about it. And so that was what inspired me to be like, okay, we need to do something about this. We need to bridge this community together. Everyone missed the locker room more than anything, so let's bring community together. Let's put some resources together, and let's really start to embrace what it means to be a championship athlete, because it doesn't leave us. It's a part of us. And so that was really the inspiration behind it and why I'm doing it today.
Oh, great. Thank you. You mentioned that transition and going through the self-discovery process. Jackie, part of the motto and, I guess, mantra of Rise Above is be a pro at being you. Tell me about that.
I think it just mirrors a lot of what you're saying, right? So there's so much pressure, I think, to have all these things, especially with the kids with social media. You see all these people living their best lives every day. And for us, really emphasizing the importance of embracing who you are and really finding your passion early on in life. I think I was having a conversation with another founder about even things you're good at, if you don't enjoy it and you're not passionate about it, it eventually doesn't work, right? So our message always is to the kids is be a pro at being you. So that actually came from Chris Herron. He was doing a talk, and Chris Herron, a former NBA player, battled addiction, and he talked about all the things he achieved in his life, and the one thing that he wished that he was a professional at, was being himself. And so I just love that. I fell in love with that term. We trademarked it, not in Bellevue, but we trademarked it. And it's just served as like such a great framework and foundation for all of our kids to just embrace your uniqueness. Especially as a Native American, we don't have a lot of representation. We don't have folks that look like us in mainstream media. I know for sure there's another one Native out there because I invited her. But I often find myself in spaces where I'm the only person that's Native American represented in a space like this. So being who you are, embracing that, and just being proud of that.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for sharing. Wayne, you know, a lot of, well, one, I think everyone wants to know what it's like to being the most admired CEO of Philadelphia. And the challenges that goes into creating success at your level. Now, I guess my understanding is there's two parts of the business. There's the business side of it and an advising side. Speak more about some of the things that you guys are looking at as investors, and where do you see your industry taking off in the next 12 months?
Yeah, thank you, and it's great to be here. It's awesome to be here. I love what the mayor had to say earlier. I've already linked in with her. Hopefully we'll connect. Love to connect with everyone. Again, my name is Wayne Kimmel, managing partner of 76 Capital, and I've been an investor and venture capitalist for over 25 years now, investing in all different types of startups. But most importantly, it's something that Nick said earlier, is about the people. It's about investing in really smart, nice, and entrepreneurs who want to change the world. And that's what we've done at 76 Capital for the last 2.5 decades or so. And for the last 7 years, we've been investing solely within the sports industry. About 7 years ago, my partners and I said, you know what? There's an industry out there that has not been disrupted by technology, data, and analytics. And it was sports. It's like, this is an industry that we love. This is an industry, well, unfortunately, I was not a professional football player or basketball player or baseball player. I tried to be all of them, but it didn't work. But the thing is that the opportunity to actually use technology and to enhance the experience from an on-the-field perspective, from a fan perspective, from a league perspective, from a team perspective, that's what's now. That's what's happening today. And that's what's so amazing to be here, here in Bellevue, in Seattle. Major League Baseball is one of those organizations, one of those leagues that has really embraced technology. They embrace innovation. It's really exciting to see what they've done and what they're going to be doing. Working with many of the kinds of companies that we invest in startups. So we're typically that first capital into companies, that first $500,000, $1 million into those businesses to get them going in the sports tech world, in the sports betting world. We do a lot around sports betting as well as across gaming and esports as well. And one last thing I'll say is I just want to point out, two of our entrepreneurs are actually here. We have Tessa and Tim from our company Collect ID. That company is actually based out of Switzerland, but they're the part of the North American team, and they make jerseys and other types of clothing smart. They do some incredible things, work with teams all over the world, and Collect ID is doing amazing stuff. And we're always looking for new next generation entrepreneurs who are doing the next thing to get behind them and help them build amazing businesses.
Awesome, thank you. You ready to jump in? You want to follow up with that? You like that?
I don't know how to follow that up.
Of course you do. I mean, what is it like being a black man that's owning and starting your own investment company, investment banking company?
I never think about it. I never think about it. Like, I'm reminded of it sometimes, but like, I genuinely never think about it. Because in my opinion, if I focus on it, I wouldn't be as aggressive. It'd be more trepidation, and I'd probably get scared. And I don't like feeling scared. It's not like a natural feeling for me, so I don't even pay it any mind. It is awesome though.
What was it is awesome though. Tell us about how that came about and how you got to where you are today.
I got lucky because my parents never put seeds of doubt in me. So the way I got started is very untraditionally. I literally just read a bunch of books and said, I like the sound of this. The business model makes sense to me. Now, when I say I read a bunch of books, this was the hard part. Because I don't know if y'all ever tried, but reading the 10Ks, I mean, down to the footnotes of like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and Berkshire Hathaway, it's not fun stuff. I mean, it's just not exciting.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
Yeah, I mean, and all your friends are out doing the thing, and you're inside just reading this boring material. But you start to see patterns, and things start to make sense to you. And then I did more research on the actual brokering of finance for companies and for commercial real estate transactions. I was kind of surprised just how easy it actually is. I mean, it's just moving it from here to over there. Now, granted, there's more nuance to it than that, but once I started to understand and recognize it, it was like, fuck it. I mean, I'm looking around, I'm like, no one's doing it. I mean, no one's doing it. So I'll be the guy. And it was just that simple.
It's that simple. Did you guys get that? Whatever you want to do.
I wish it was more complicated than that. I would, see, listen, I do believe that I'm Superman. I have no issue telling you that I'm Superman. But I wish that there was like a secret sauce to this, but there really isn't. Like what I just explained to you, that's really what you do. And you just get paid for it.
I hope everyone wrote that down. That was so profound. I mean, if you don't take anything away from today, just know that it's simple. Whatever you want to do, it's pretty simple.
So, to that point, though, because when I got started, I was telling my friends about it, and it taught me a lot, which, you know, there are parallels between this and sports. It really is all mental. I mean, I tell my team all the time, stop blocking your own shots. I mean, you can do a lot of different things if you really wanted to. You just don't really want to do it. Because when it get down to actually doing the thing, you're the one telling yourself the excuses is what they are, to why you can't do it. Because no one's stopping you like, listen, yes, I run an investment bank. You can do it too. You're not going to do it though because you're scared. So if you can get past that part, you can probably do anything. I've seen it in track. I'm 5'10", but let's be honest, I'm 5'9". I'm a 5'9", 400 hurler. And I went to the Olympic Games. And it was off sheer just moxie, gusto, and just charisma. I was just like, why not me? And you know what? I wouldn't listen to anybody who said that I couldn't do anything. I just wouldn't listen to it. I didn't block my own shots. So I see parallels between track, because I used to run track, between track and business in the exact same way. Because in a lot of ways, running the 400 hurlers is exactly like starting an investment bank, believe it or not.
Well, it's one of the things, I love that, and it's one of the things why we have our athlete venture group at 76 Capital, where we have professional athletes who some are active and some have retired, and they're part of our team. They're investors with us, and they're part of our team in helping inspire our entrepreneurs. Because one of the things that we find, and similar to what you were saying, is that a lot of the same traits that make you successful on the field as an athlete are the same exact types of things that you need to do as an entrepreneur. You need to have the passion, you need to have desire, you need to have that drive, you need to have that resiliency, right? One of our guys, loves talking about, the fact that he was running back in the NFL and he got hit real hard, lots of times. He didn't want to get back up. He's like, man, my head was spinning. I really probably shouldn't have stayed in the game. I just got back up. My body was hurting, but I got back up. I got back in the huddle and I went back again. And when he's talking to a lot of the different entrepreneurs that are part of our group, they're saying, wow, like we're going and having meetings and sometimes people are telling us no, but you know what? It's okay. I'm not getting hit in the head. I'm not getting knocked down. I'm not getting physically hurt. All I'm hearing is no. Okay, move on to the next meeting. And those types of things are the types of things, as you said, it's simple, but it's mentally tough. It totally is. I mean, but at the same time, if you think about it from an athletic perspective, you're not getting physically hurt, so just keep going. Dial the next number.
I love the fact that you guys have really went to the hurdles and the challenges associated with accomplishing a goal. And as athletes, high professional athletes or high performers in general really feed off mindset over skill set. And I don't know about anyone else in this room who have ever doubted themselves, had a limiting belief or some assumption about something else. I imagine as an entrepreneur, there's been those conversations, those mirror conversations where one had to be real with themselves and answer the call. What limiting beliefs or assumptions that you had to overcome in order to see the change that you, in a seat that you are now? And I'll just throw that out to the group.
Yeah, I'll start. I, as an athlete, like especially like a D1, Division I athlete, before the whole NIL era, like we didn't have any opportunity in the summers or anything to get any type of business experience. So when I stopped playing and I'm going into these rooms and they're speaking a whole different language, I mean, I just felt out of place. I mean, even now I can still be in a certain room and like not exactly know what's going on, and I have to kind of carry that confidence. But for me, I mean, I was too young. I don't have enough experience. I told you I had to train my mind to, well, there was at one point where I didn't think that I could run or jog more than a mile, that I was just all like fast twitch muscles. And I had to train myself to like believe I was a marathon runner. And I had to do that so I had the confidence to be able to help other athletes out as well, or other people out to overcome their limiting beliefs. So, I mean, there's like this mindset that life goes downhill after we stop playing sports, that our best days are behind us. And that was also a limiting belief that not only I had, but so many others have who I spoke to. And so I had to just train myself to realize that like life is just getting started. But that was a belief that was holding me back.
Great. Jackie, any breakthroughs of overcoming those inner voices that told you to stop, don't go, don't do it?
All the time. I think for me, really trying to change the narrative and change what we're doing for kids is there's a lot of times that we as a country, we as a tribe, we as a government, a business, whatever, we say that we believe in kids, we say that they're the future, but they don't always match, right? We don't invest in kids. So when I'm going and people are like, yes, let's do it, yes, that's a great idea, and then there's no follow-up, I think that's the hardest thing for me, is when people say they want to invest or say they want to be business partners and their actions don't match their words, and really trying to drag people up Success Mountain because you want them to come. You think they're the right person, you think they're the right opportunity, and you're really trying to drag people up Success Mountain, and it just doesn't work, right? And understanding that you have to shift. And I started telling myself that you can't say the right thing to the wrong people, and you can't say the wrong thing to the right people. So really aligning myself with like mission people who really believe it and really match their actions with the work that they're doing.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Guys, and just a quick note, there are microphones at the edge of each side, so there'll be a point where we'll field maybe a few questions, 2 or 3 questions from the audience if you guys have any empowering questions or thoughts, concerns for the panelists.
Oh, just really quick, a follow-up to that. I think when we talk about challenges too, as athletes, you know that we can always get through things. We'll figure it out, we'll do it ourselves, we can do it, we could do anything, right? As athletes, you're a competitor, you can do it. I think sometimes that our greatest strength as getting through it and figuring it out and accomplishing a goal can turn into our greatest weakness when we don't ask for help. And I think that's the one thing that I've had a hard time, is really reaching out and asking for help. How do I do this? Who's the right partner? But the greatest strength could turn into the greatest weakness as athletes because we just get it done and we figure out a way.
Love that.
B, we were talking about, if you look at some football, basketball, team sports, as a person who ran track at the highest level, you were always, an individual. You were kind of solo. What have you learned about yourself in terms of now running an organization where business is a team sport, and maybe you had some challenges as an individual athlete that you had to overcome to be a really good leader in your seat?
I wouldn't say that I'm a really good leader. I'm trying to figure it out every day. I would love to pretend like I got it all figured out, but I don't. I just don't. My problem, one of my chief problems, in my opinion, is my lack of patience, because I have big goals, and I wanted them kind of yesterday. And I live in the future, so then when I get rolled back into the today, I get annoyed, and I'm just like, I get kind of antsy because I want the stuff now. But no, like as I talk to you right now, I'm actively having to learn the skill of, it's like, okay, if you're really as good as you say you are, you should be able to teach it to other people, and you should be able to have the patience to see it through. Just like you see, when we think of our own successes, like in sports, I mean, I can talk to you now and say I'm an Olympian. I have these times. I can list my achievements, but it's easy to forget like the actual road of getting there. And I can tell you right now, I personally forget about the road sometimes. I just think about the end result. So I have to keep that in mind as I'm attempting to lead a growing organization now. Because if left to my own devices, I get way too aggressive and way too impatient. To my own fault. I mean, it's like a good and bad thing. It's a gift and a curse. Because you want to be that aggressive, but then you got to know when to back off too. Because I don't do it with myself personally, it's hard for me to do it with other people. So I'm learning that skill right now.
No, it's an ongoing challenge, and I think anyone who's been in any leadership position or have aspirations of becoming great leaders, it's an ongoing process. I don't know if you ever get there. As you always trying to find new iterations of yourself and new ways to activate and motivate your people and your company to reach those stringent and tough deadlines. I want to move things. I know we're pushing at the top of the hour, and so just respectfully of time. Wayne, in your company, you talk about athletes that are leveraging their social and financial capital. In what ways are you guys doing that at 76?
I think one of the big things, I mean, what's happening right now, and I said this earlier, is this opportunity today to truly innovate, change the overall sports industry. I mean, this is an opportunity right now for an entrepreneur to think about using technology, whether that's an entrepreneur who played in the league or was an elite athlete, or just any entrepreneur out there to think about the sport they love or the sport that they want to be involved with, or the world of sports betting. I mean, what's happened in sports betting over the last 5 years, sports betting was a word you would never, ever say in and around the sports industry. But over the last 5 years, over 38 states have legalized, including the state of Washington, legalized sports betting. And there are major industries, major companies that are being built in this industry. So over $220 billion has been bet in the sports betting industry in the last 5 years, with $100 billion of that just within the last year. There are incredible entrepreneurs who are building the next generation companies within those worlds, creating customization and personalization and new technology and compliance companies across all the world of the world of sports betting. At the same time, we're here at the MLB All-Star Game. One of our top portfolio companies called Diamond Kinetics is an official partner of the Major League Baseball. They make bats and balls smart. They work, and they do that all the way from the youth level all the way up to the major league level. I mean, it's really amazing that's what's happening today, and the leagues, whether it's Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NBA, they all, where I just came from Summer League, right? I mean, they're all so interested in what's next in sports, how technology can be used to make their game, make their franchises and their leagues more profitable. So if I can do anything is really try to inspire the next generation entrepreneur to think about these things, because the door's wide open. I mean, there's a reason why T-Mobile spends so much money with Major League Baseball. They're into it. Major League Baseball is totally into this, innovation and technology. So I would really think that that's something that everyone should really think about.
Awesome. Well, as we wrap things up, I want to maybe do a round robin and toss this up to the panelists of maybe, 30 seconds of greatness, or what does the next 6 months look like for you in your business? So you choose 30 seconds of greatness, something that you want to share or inspire our audience, or what do you hope to accomplish in the next, I'll give you a choice. I know it's on the spot, so it may be a little tough to think about. 30 seconds of greatness is
not for me. This is easy.
There we go.
This is easy. So over the next 6 months, going into late Q4, early Q1 of next year, we're ramping up to 5 VPs. We'll be across the entire country and over 100 bankers.
Nice. Well done. Can't wait to hear more about it. Jackie?
I think for me, in the next, I would say 5 years, I hope to build a school for Native American youth in Washington State, modeled after the Jalen Rose Academy in Michigan, and really change a generation of kids through education.
And I saw the images of that. That looks amazing. Good luck with that. Jelani.
30 seconds of greatness. Belief and gratitude are two things that I stand by. So believe in your vision. Everything you think you can achieve, believe in it. Don't let it stop you. Believe in it. And then gratitude for the journey, the ups and downs. Be just as grateful for the lows as the highs. Know that it's all happening for you, not to you.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, the sports industry today is an asset class, like any other asset class out there today. The kind of stuff you look at, and whether it's the financial service industry, the tech industry, the world of sports itself is a booming global asset class. And I would just say, go out there and go make it happen and build something in this industry, because now is the time to do some amazing things and innovative things across the world of sports today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can sit here for another 30 minutes or maybe even an hour and pull some great nuggets and of gold and information from our panelists. So let's give it up for our panelists. Thank you. Thank you. Wayne, Jelani, Jackie, and Byron. Thank you.
Great job, everyone.
Thank you.
Stick around. Quite amazing, isn't it? Quite amazing. As we move on, we want to thank and celebrate our partners and sponsors that make this day happen. Again, I'm so grateful for the support that we have, not only in Seattle, but around the world, but specifically here. So the first that we want to bring up is Maker's Mark. You'll notice the donut wall over there, and you'll notice there's a specialty drink that will be served as well, so look forward to that. But we have Tom from Maker's Mark that's going to join us, share a few words, and so excited. So, hey, let's hear it for Maker's Mark.
What's happening? So we got a little cocktail over here. It's a Gold Rush cocktail, whiskey, lemon, honey. It's delicious. But just a few words about Maker's Mark. So we got the donut wall. That's a tribute to one of our founders, Margie Samuels, the first woman inducted into the Whiskey Hall of Fame. She did the red wax, the pack, the name of the brand Maker's Mark. So she first dipped the bottle in their kitchen where they did Sunday night fried chicken, dumped out the chicken grease, poured in red wax, all built there in her kitchen. And Maker's Mark was really founded with the idea of turning the whiskey industry from a commodity product into a hospitality product. So a lot of the same stuff you've heard today. And at the top of last year, Maker's Mark was the largest distillery in the world to get recognition as a certified B Corporation. So putting something above just making a bunch of product and making a bunch of profit. So that's treating your people really well, doing white oak research down at the distillery, and a certified B Corp with a watershed sanctuary. So putting something above people or above product and profit. Come have a cocktail after the panel and have a good time out here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Maker's Mark. Next, incredible sponsor. If you've been to our Founders Live Seattle events, you'll notice that you'll recognize this face, but Bill Sablon.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. So I really enjoyed the panel discussion and hearing people's stories. One thing I didn't hear anybody say when asked, why did you get started with this business? I didn't hear someone say, well, I just really wanted to do accounting, and that was the best way to do it. Start my own company, I'll do accounting. So what Now CFO is here for, we're here to take that off your plate. So, making sure that all the transactions that are going on through your business, they're getting recorded properly. You've got an accurate record of what's going on. But the second thing, and really what I find the more valuable piece of it, one thing I did hear on the panel discussion was about learning how to ask for help. And that's really what Now CFO is for. So business owners, you make dozens of decisions every day. And if you want to make good decisions, you need good information to make that off of. So we're here to provide relevant, insightful financial information to help you make those decisions, to be a partner with you, to help you understand where you want to be and how you can get there. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Bill. They've been with us from close to the beginning, and so we really, really appreciate all the support. Next, we want to bring up John. We want to bring up John Bai. John, join us on stage real quick, say a few words. And both now CFO and John Bai are responsible for the support of our after party, which you'll hear about at the end of this talk and the end of the event. But let's hear it.
All right. Thanks for having me. This is the first I've ever even heard of this event, and I just want to thank you, Bill, for the invite. I look at 20 years ago getting into real estate, and I wish that I would have been involved in this type of room. Everybody's getting super inspired. And I'd say the one thing, I am in real estate sales, and I bet every single one of you have sat down on your kitchen table dreaming up the vision that you have today. So if you want a cooler kitchen to hang out in, to think about your big visions, I would love to help you find that. So hope to see you all tonight for cocktails. Thanks so much.
Short, sweet, and to the point. The last one, speaking of short, sweet, to the point, and the story, we have Melissa Reeves. She will explain a lot more of her services, but the pitches you will hear all are rooted in stories and storytelling, and we are very happy to have Melissa. Melissa's been around for a number of years now with Founders Live and tremendously helped us level up the quality of the messages and the pitches of all the founders. And so let's hear it for Melissa Reeves.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Founders Live. Thank you, T-Mobile. I grew up on the stage with Founders Live. So about 4 years ago, I stood in front of a group like this and I proclaimed myself, I'm going to be an executive storytelling coach. Yeah, I am. Well, 4 years later, I am now with 8 coaches I have 3 right here, I have more here, I have people who help me with my book. I love Founders Live and all that's happened. So what we're doing today, you're gonna see not a typical pitch that you normally would see. You're not gonna see a bunch of graphs and charts. You're gonna hear their stories. And these are fast pitches. So their slides need to be, oh, that needs to change again. These slides need to be very clean and easy to read so that the audience doesn't get lost. Thank you, darling. So the audience does not get lost. Oh, I wrote a book too. So pay attention to their words. We want the audience to understand in just 99 seconds, how are they gonna change the world? Because they are. And then you have 4 minutes to ask them questions, and if they have a mic, you don't need to repeat the question, but if they do not have a mic, please repeat the question. So that's what we're here, 99 seconds, and they're gonna open with stories, they're going to show you their entire vision of their dream and how it's gonna come to fruition. So, presenters, you're all winners to me. Give them their support, ask questions, and let's have a really great show. All right? Ready to go.
Thank you, thank you. Yes. Y'all ready? Let's do this. It's showtime. So we are now entering into the pitch competition aspect of the event. And we have 5 amazing athletes turned founders and entrepreneurs. We're going to hear from Postseason. You met Jelani already. We're going to hear from Robinson & Co. Banking. You met already. We're going to hear from Torch. Cletus is going to join us. We have Influx, and that is Felicia. And the last one is Rise Above. You met Jackie already. So the way this works, and this is what makes Founders Live so fun, is it's a 99-second pitch, and then there's 4 minutes of questions from not me, from you. Here's the thing. You're going to be thinking something. Just raise your hand. We'll bring the mic around, and we're going to take a handful of questions. So it's 4 minutes of questions, and then we will cycle through all the presenters, and we'll have an opportunity to scan a QR code and vote on the winner. So the way it's going to work is after the final pitch and the Q&A, food is now starting to be available, and the barter will be available. So at that time, feel free to go grab some stuff or whatever. But we want to have the attention right here. It's exciting, it's fun, but let's make sure that we're given the right respect and attention to the right people in the room. So this is how we'll vote. We'll come back to this, so no worries on that. But we'll scan that. And are you all ready? All right, Jelani is up first. Let's hear it.
We're good.
I got your time. You got the clicker.
Thank you. Thank you. So this is me in 2018. 8 months after retiring from the NFL. I was high out of my mind. I was playing Call of Duty. I was sitting in my own stench of cannabis and old bong water. And I was struggling and doing everything I could to really grasp with the reality that I'll never play football again. And this represents hundreds and millions of athletes worldwide who leave their sport and enter the next phase of life. Now, a mentor helped me understand that we don't have to give up our identity as an athlete. This is our strength. And I want to help other athletes feel the same way. So that's why I created Postseason. So think of a platform like Masterclass, but one that caters to elite athletes in transition. Every year, hundreds and thousands of athletes worldwide leave their sport and enter the postseason feeling lost and alone. So we give them access to a new locker room. They can connect with other athletes around the globe. They can purchase credits to unlock playbooks, which are our video-based, on-demand educational content taught by other athletes who speak the same language, know exactly what they're going through, who've had success. And we remind them that they too can become champions in the game of life. We've had some success, members already in our community, organizations that are excited to work with us, some verbally committed course partners. We'll be launching our MVP soon, which I'm really excited about. We have an amazing team, over 50 years of experience in ed tech and taking companies public, also some former athletes. And we're raising $2.5 million on a convertible note. This is gonna help us scale our education department, produce our playbooks, build out our team, recruit some top talented course partners in our marketing efforts. So with that being said, athletes, I want to welcome you to your new team. We all know that champions are made in the postseason. Thank you.
Amazing. Perfect. That is perfect. We have a microphone over here. We have a microphone over there. Megan, if you want to grab that. We are taking questions. Just raise your hand. And Jelani will call on you, okay? So we got one right there.
Question.
So what's your revenue model? Is it with the athletes that are purchasing the educational information?
Yes. So we will. So the answer to the question was, what's your revenue model? We will start off by offering our online courses as one-off purchases. So as an athlete, you'll be able to join the platform. You'll join the platform for free, connect with other athletes for free, and you'll be able to choose from a selection of playbooks. You know, Spencer Paysinger teaches screenwriting, Lisa Leslie, real estate, different playbooks. Those will be something that they can purchase. As we build out more content, we're gonna move to a subscription model, an all-access subscription model where they can have access to all of these interesting playbooks. We have plans in the future of events and other amazing things happening, but this is our current model. Yes.
It's at the bottom.
This one work? That one works. How do you incentivize folks to post the master classes? Are they getting paid for that? And
Yes. So we will work directly with certain course partners who have had success in their next little transition. So these will be personal partners that we connect with. We incentivize them. I mean, I've spoken to so many athletes. I'm one of them, individuals who've made the successful transition. All of us struggle. So the incentivization is that they want to create impact. They want to be able to use their experience and how they used sports and what made them great as athletes in their next phase. They're already incentivized to give back because there's nothing really like it. And so we think they'll be running to the opportunity.
What are some key themes and topics of some of the playbooks or that you've seen?
Yeah, so these are really like industry-based. These are individuals who like really have had success in sports, but have learned how to use it in their next industry. So from real estate to, Al Harrington teaching how to create his cannabis company to Ryan Coogler teaching how to direct, something like Black Panther. But it's really, they were masters as athletes. We're not saying that they're masters at their next phase. We're just saying that they mastered being an athlete and have learned how to use it in their next phase. So it's really industry focused based on all the different avenues that one can go after they leave sports. Yes.
I had a question about how do you incentivize the athletes who are used to learning and executing on the field to training and executing mentally in their mind?
That's a beautiful question. The way we incentivize these athletes to want to execute their mind, one, a lot of them will be going through like really hard times. We incentivize them because they see that these are other athletes who've walked their same path. They resonate with them. We speak the same language. Like I said in the panel, like I didn't understand most of the rooms I was going into. And so when you have people who know you and truly understand where you've been, it leaves that level of resonance where I'm like, I want to be in this community. I want to feel like I'm in a locker room again. So it's a natural thing. It's a natural progression. And our whole goal is to really to recreate that support system that exists in a lot of these athletic organizations. So that's why.
We'll do one more question from the audience.
Follow-up question. How do you scale? What's your exit strategy?
How do you scale? What's your exit strategy? So we scale because our courses are on demand. We have enough content on there where athletes will be able to purchase these courses and build community through that. Our exit strategy, at a certain point, we do see that there are opportunities to use our model in comparable demographics, like for example, veterans, child actors who are transitioning. So we see an opportunity to really exit with a technology and a system that is able to be transferable in a lot of different avenues. Yeah, it sounded good. Question?
Number three. All right, not easy to stand up here and field questions from the audience when they're trying to, rip apart your business, your business baby. What don't you know?
A lot. I don't know a lot. I'm learning every day. What I don't know is how, I think the biggest challenge is organizations who've had a lot of time and energy feeling like they've already created enough resources for their athletes. Athletes who struggle to ask for help, the ego involved in it. So it'll be very interesting to see over the next couple of years as we roll this out, how these partners that we have to work with and these athletes, this community that we have to work with, it's gonna be interesting to see how they navigate to a change and a big problem. When there's ego, there's old structures. So that's gonna be a nice path that we have to navigate that's unknown, but I'm excited about.
Awesome, thank you. Jelani.
All right. Next up, you've met him recently, but he's back, Byron Robinson.
Let's do it. Sorry about that. So I'm an Olympic 400 hurler. Went on to run for Adidas for 4 years, so I was a professional athlete. But you can make the case that the entire time I'm actually just a closeted businessman. So I went on to try and fail at actually starting 5 companies. Very embarrassing. So then I realized that my value is actually in helping people, actually do the company part, because I'm not innovative. So I went on to start Robinson & Co. Banking. So what we are is a lower middle market, really upper small business investment bank. And what that means is that we just broker the financing from the actual asset managers. We go to hedge funds, banks, credit unions, family offices, anybody who has money, we learn their products and we broker it to the actual companies. So in the early days, it was really rough because I didn't know what I was doing. So I just read as much as I possibly could, utilized my photographic memory, and just went out there and put it into effect. Got a few deals going, learned that it's actually easier to do than actually running track. Started meeting more people, going to meetups, and just got the ball rolling that way. So that's our business model. So we operate on a commission with a retainer. So we take in a client, we get paid a retainer, then we understand what it is they actually want to do, and then we take it to the asset managers that we actually work with. And that could be anything from a startup up to a government contract, which leads to the next part. Right now, we have, I fuck up the time. Right now, we have 3 VPs, we have 30 people, and the plan is to get to 5 VPs and over 100 bankers this year.
Stay there, man.
Sorry about that.
All right.
I wanted to get to that part. That was a good.
First question is talk about your deals, man. What you got going on?
Yes. So right now we have over 500 million in deals, ranging everything from startups up to government contracts. Some of them are really interesting, some of them not. The actual deal sizes range. I mean, we advertise that we do between 1 to 100 mil, and that's like the ballpark that we actually want to play in. But we actually are having deals right now as small as 500K and up to actually literally like 200 million as of last week. So that's kind of what we have going on right now.
Awesome. We have a question over there.
Can I pick the questions?
We'll get Troy. Let's get Troy. Let's get that going.
Thanks. Do you have any plans to help companies buy and sell, like a lot of investment banking firms do?
You're asking the good questions. So, where's Andrew? I'm going to say no, because we partner with actual M&A firms that they actually do that. But what I'm noticing, as of yesterday, actually, my president, who's here, actually doesn't even know this. As of yesterday, we do have a partnership with an M&A firm, and the plan right now is to basically send them referrals, get the referral fees, and then escrow it to a high school of our choice. And that way we can try to build up like a sports program there and try to build entrepreneurship at a high school of our choice. But to answer your question more specifically, let's revisit that in a few years. Because like as we get more people, there's different ways that we can leverage kind of like that nucleus. And that is how I look at it, as a nucleus. Because we have relationships with the biggest asset managers in the world. There's little that you can't do with those kind of relationships. So I am thinking about that really every day. I just don't want to, I have to be non-committal because, it's a relationship business and I don't want to, step out and cause any kind of friction there.
Hello. I live half of the year in Cologne, Germany. And my question is, where are you located?
So right now we're primarily in the U.S. Did, as of yesterday, pick up a deal in Colombia. We do have some overseas deals, not in Germany though. Do we have capital sources that can extend that far? Yes. But if you came to me with a deal that had to be done in Germany, I wouldn't be able to promise you anything, but we'll take it on. I mean, we're yes men at the end of the day. We'll take it on. So we'll see. Let's talk, actually. I don't know why y'all laugh at me. I don't know.
I was wondering if there's any type of criteria that you're looking for in a prospective client. Is there industry, life cycle? What are the qualifications?
As long as you're not pre-revenue, because that's just hard to do. I mean, we all know that's hard to do. As long as it's not pre-revenue, so there's revenues to show for, and some kind of asset or inventory that gives us something to work with, we can more than likely land you some kind of financing. I'm not saying it's always going to be pretty, but as long as it's not pre-revenue, that's something that we can work with and probably get something sent your way.
Hi. Do you find the challenges finding the capital sources, or is it sourcing customers?
Neither. It's actually in the relationships, to be honest with you, because the business model kind of explains itself. It's just moving money from here to over there. But that's the reason why with the bankers that we're actually onboarding right now, internally we're very liberal in extending the capital sources because that's not where the value actually lies. It's actually in being like the guy that they know and trust when you actually send them that deal. And how you get to that point, I can't tell you that. That's the good stuff. But like that's actually where the value lies. So I mean, we're selling money at the end of the day. Hate to be straightforward, but if you're selling money, drugs, or sex, it's just easy to get clients. It's just easy to get it. I mean, if you put down the flag, they come to you. It's an easy thing to get. But it's the relationships where the value actually lies.
333. I think we find B's new slogan for Robinson and Co.
By the way, if y'all wanted to get in contact with me, if you reach out to the deals email, I'm going to get it and I'll reach out to you personally so we can pick it back up from there.
All right, B, before you go, last question. What are you seeing in terms of industry and market trends that have you excited?
All right, so there's a double-edged sword to this answer. I'm excited because things are bad right now, and the worse things are, the more we're in business. Because if money was easy to get, everybody would do it. Because we are in a recession, not going into one, because we're in one, liquidity is just dried up, and it's just harder to do. And unfortunately, but fortunately, that's where we come in and still make it happen. So pretty much across all asset classes, outside of bonds, it's just not happening right now.
All right, Brian Robertson.
All right. Great job. Good job. You feeling it, everyone? We're feeling it. We got 2 down. We got the next up is we've got Cletus Coffee with Torch.
Thank you, Nick. As an athlete, my self-worth and my identity was wrapped up in the scoreboard. If we won, I was happy. I felt good. If we lost, I wasn't happy. I suck. What's wrong with me? I'm not good enough. You see, this thinking then carried over into the new game of life, where the pressure to provide and perform was overwhelming. I felt shame and guilt because for over a decade, I tried to meet society's expectations for a high-achieving man, only to find myself broke and broken. What I realized is I'm not alone. CEOs struggling with imposter syndrome, military veterans with identity crisis, athletes struggling with perfectionism. What frustrated me the most was these are incredible human beings, driven, yet succumbing to their fears and to the pressures to provide results. What if we could take high achievers and disconnect them from the scoreboard and provide an illuminated pathway where they can find passion, fulfillment, meaning in their lives so they can serve themselves and lead others? This is where Torch comes in. We are that playbook for personal culture to help high achievers through action, accountability, and transformation. We do this with mentorship, group coaching, and live experiential events. Once I made that shift, you believe it or not, I began to attract the individuals and the corporations who wanted to make the same impact that I did. Today, I'm looking for high achievers who want to be a part of our program and corporations who we can support with their personal culture. Thank you.
Let's hear it. Great job.
Thank you.
99 seconds happens very quick. Very quick. It is in like 99 seconds. This is great. All right, questions. We got the first one over there.
I got one. So you mentioned both individuals and corporations. Are you generally B2C or B2B?
So we're both. So we do have members that come in as B2C. So we'll bring them in, be part of our cohort, which we're starting now, our newest cohort, but also going to businesses as well to work with the corporations in training, speaking, workshops, et cetera. So both.
Can you tell us more about the experimental events and like what makes them unique?
Great question. Thank you. Someone mentioned firewalking earlier, right? Yeah, there's some fun stuff like that. But I tell you what, we as adults learn best by trying it on and putting it to place. So we're going to get uncomfortable. We're going to get, change and impact starts with putting ourselves outside our comfort zone. For example, we've got an event that we do that challenges your beliefs in scarcity and abundance, and it's actually a competition. So we're going to compete. And in that competition, you're going to learn a lot about yourself and how you probably have patterns of scarcity that exist in a lot of areas of your life, like money, like in love, maybe in your health and well-being. So we get engaged and we get working. About 40% of it is classroom workshop. The other 60% will be games or interactive activities to help you absorb the content and try it in right then and there. Because the goal is to seek transformation. See, I read the books, I've gone to the seminars, I bought the courses, thousands of dollars in investing in myself to realize those notes sat in a drawer. I want to seek transformation and real results. We do that by trying it on.
All right, that's when I pop on stage and ask the last question.
All right.
Cletus, it's been fun to watch you grow and hear about Torch. The question is, what have you learned about yourself through these experimental events and coaching sessions?
This is a really good question. And Jordan, I've learned about myself is I'm a liar.
Say more.
How many of you consider yourselves an athlete? How many would you consider yourself an athlete?
Define athlete.
How many of you consider yourself an entrepreneur or an executive? You're all liars. That's what you do. That's not who you are. And so much of my life, I was so focused on what I did and that scoreboard to get to the results, I never really aligned with who I really was. So once I started telling the truth and embracing vulnerability, then opportunities started coming my way because I would go to networking events just like this, and someone would say, hey, man, what do you do? And I'm embarrassed to say, well, I used to play football. I'm kind of like starting this thing, and lying. I'm lying. Telling the truth has set me free and will set you free as well.
Give it up for Cletus.
Well done. Great job. And we'll take that clicker real quick. Wow. This is fun. I don't know about you all, but I'm having a great time. Speaking of, our next presenter, we have Felicia George.
Thank you. I'm standing at the start line, and in a stadium of 60,000 people, the sound of my heartbeat rings the loudest in my ears. Sorry. I'm going to start over.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm standing at the start line, and in a stadium of 60,000 people, the sound of my heartbeat rings the loudest in my ears. My eyes fix forward on the 10 hurdles in front of me, and the world melts away. As the gun goes off, I hear the voice inside of me so clearly propelling me forward, forward, forward. Oh my gosh. Propelling me forward, forward, forward. My feet kiss the ground, barely touching, and yet sparks fly. Time stops rushing past me and grabs my hand instead as we cross the finish line together. You see, my career in sport, I found something beautiful, and it wasn't when I was standing at the top of the podium. It was the moments when I was deeply connected to myself, in total alignment. I found something beautiful, and it's something that I can only call magic. And over the years, I became obsessed with bottling magic. How do I cultivate it? How do I create it? How do I help people experience these magical moments? Introducing Influx. a place of self-discovery so you can remember the magic that lays in wait. We host wellness retreats to help people discover the magic that lays within them. Besides becoming an Olympian, I always wanted to become a doctor. And I suppose a part of me always realized that there's different forms of medicine. It's sunshine, it's the ocean, it's fresh food, it's laughter. We host our retreats off the beaten path so you can remember who you are before the world told you who you should be. We're hosting a retreat in the fall, and if you're interested in creating magic together, please click the QR code, and I can send you more information.
Great job. Amazing. All right. Questions? We have one over there. We have one over there.
What's been some of the most meaningful practices that you've found in this transition and maybe just some of the impacts that it's had on you?
Yeah, so I started exploring wellness in 2016, and I started with the Headspace app. And being able to only meditate for maybe 10 minutes a day, and to basically build myself up into finding this stillness within myself. So for me, it's been meditation, breath work, sound baths, and I think really connecting into my body and feeling my body and being able to find those quiet moments within myself, I think have been really transformative and helpful when I'm performing as an athlete.
Over here, I've got a question. So how much do these retreats typically cost a person, and where are they located at? Are they all in the United States? Do you go abroad?
Yeah, so mainly abroad. I specifically have started in the Caribbean. My family is from Grenada, and I'm very connected to the culture there. And a big part of the retreats is taking us outside of the modern world, disconnecting and finding the space where we can kind of really connect to a more natural way of living, find that really slower pace, and eat that good fresh food, be close to the water. So the price depends on where we're gonna be, but typically, somewhere around $5,000 has been a price point where we've been working with. Pardon me? Oh, the question is how many days is it? So typically we would do anywhere between 5 days, 7 days, for like a week being out there to really, because the thing is sometimes when you get out there, your mind is still going. It takes a little bit of time to really find those moments of quietness and be in community with other people and share that energetic space. And so I usually find that like anywhere between 5 and 7, we're really connecting with what we want to. The question is how many people are there usually? Typically, what I've had so far has been maybe about anywhere between 10 to 12. And I think it's a really beautiful experience because it keeps it relatively intimate. And then you get these connections, deeper connections with people that you can carry on past just this retreat for the week and really hold each other accountable for holding this space, not just what you're doing, but the person that you are, as Cletus was saying as well.
How do you continue? I think we've all had those moments where you disconnect and you kind of feel what you're feeling. How do you sustain that and help them continue that for the years? And maybe it is the connections you just referred to, but I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, and I think, there is a part of it where there's the worry that like I can only sustain this feeling while I'm separated from society. But I think we also teach those techniques. So you're gonna learn about meditation, you're gonna learn about, breath work. And so the hope is that you can use these daily practices and create rituals within your life. And a part of it is, like I said, you find these really special moments, that magic, this other part of yourself, this sense of stuff that you can connect to beyond who I am as a employer. And so I think once you start to find that and connect to that in a more deeper way, you can kind of be in that working environment, but also remembering this is who I am as a person as well.
Have you ever thought about, or have you started to incorporate e-commerce or like products, wellness products, that sort of thing, to generate reoccurring revenue?
Yeah, I think I would like to eventually kind of move into that, potentially offering like online courses, merchandise, and those types of things as well, but I haven't done that just yet.
All right, that's when I make my way to the stage for the last question. But probably got a few more. What events did you compete in as an Olympian?
Right, I guess I didn't really tell much about my story. So I, three-time Olympian. I'm a summer and winter Olympian. So I'm the first Canadian Black woman to compete in both the summer and the winter Olympics. Yeah, thank you. I competed in the 100-meter hurdles. I was also a sprinter, and then I did bobsleigh because I'm a little bit crazy sometimes. So yeah.
Bobsled. That threw me off. You know,
Right.
I think we all had a little moment where we flashed back to Cool Runnings. You want to race? No, I don't want to race.
And I won a bronze medal in bobsleigh.
And the what?
I won a bronze medal in bobsleigh.
A bronze, wow. So recently retired, how has your transition led to Influx?
Yeah, so I mean, just a year out of retiring, and as all the athletes have kind of echoed, it's a challenging transition. But I think to me, I just understand that like, anytime we're moving in transition, it's a challenging space to be in. And I wanted to really create space for people to connect to something beyond just who they are and what they did and that identity that I had as an athlete. And so really just finding space to connect to a deeper part of myself and helping people to do that as well.
All right, give it up for Felicia and Influx.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. So good. All right. Our fifth and final presenter today, we have Jackie McCormick. And
I'm just an ordinary res kid with extraordinary dreams. From being raised by my grandparents, to earning a scholarship to Illinois State University, to becoming a first-generation college graduate, to now having a feature film being produced on my life journey by Danny Glover, Lenny Wilkins, and Doug Baldwin. This will serve as another platform to reach more Native youth. To reach more Native youth, I am here with Rise Above to change the narrative for Native youth to create futures that they too can be proud of. Because my story is their story. In the last 99 years, graduation rates for Native children have not improved. 4 out of 10 Native students will not graduate high school each year. The suicide rate for Native American youth is 2.5 times higher than the overall national average. Our kids need hope. Rise Above was founded to educate, empower, and create hope for our Native youth. The concept is not complicated. Meet our kids where they're at. Sport. We team up with educators, behavioral health teams, current and former professional athletes, actors, musical artists, and create brief interventions using sport as our modality. Rise Above is changing the narrative for Native American youth, and you can be a part of that change by becoming an individual donor and introducing us to like mission partners. Thank you.
Let's hear it. Great job. Questions? Questions? We're thinking something. Thinking something. We got Nick back there.
I grew up out on the coast with a lot of res kids, and growing up later into a psychology major myself, I learned a lot about generational imprinting or generational trauma, and I'm wondering how that idea kind of plays into how you help these kids through sports and how you see that play out, that you kind of have to maybe coach them differently than what a non-res kid has to deal with.
Generational trauma is huge. When we think about the things, when we go back in history, go back in time, history, accurate history is not taught, right? So when we think about that, we as an organization try and focus on the future, right? Understanding that what we went through does not define us and we are not victims. So when we work with our kids, we don't forget what we went through, but we focus on the future. And for kids, I would say all kids, but especially Native kids, it's all about relationships and development. So ongoing programming is critical for us to be able to establish those relationships. And I think it goes back to that, being able to trust people that are coming in with good intention, not just getting what they want and leaving the community.
I was wondering what the reach is. Are you like regional, national, and then what are expansion plans?
So we're based in Seattle. We're the only mobile nonprofit in the state that I'm aware of. So the two biggest barriers for our kids is cost and transportation. So we try and break those down. So every event that we put on, we work really hard on the back end to make sure that everything is free for our kids. The other thing is we go inside of communities. So we break down the transportation barriers. So we're in their own home facility, their home gym, and we connect the resources. So it's not our job to be all things to all people. We bring in the professionals from that community and say, these are the people you go to when you need help. These are the teachers, these are the resources. And as far as scaling, we're actually on the cusp of really growing substantially starting in January. We're going to expand, hopefully, for 7 new positions, and that's regionally. We want to be coast to coast in Washington State for sure, and we're right there.
Jackie, how will the movie impact the kids?
The movie is going to impact youth because representation matters. I think to be able to see somebody like you on camera and know that your experiences are mirrored by that and that you can actually do it. The physical manifestation of seeing somebody like you on screen is so powerful that it can't be measured. And oftentimes I think that we look at the impact and it can't be measured. So you don't know what that experience is gonna do for a child, but I think it's really going to give our kids hope, and my goal is that it impacts one kid or one family, because putting your life story out to the world is a little scary.
You mentioned introductions. So what kind of people, what kind of introductions, organizations would be most valuable to you, say, in the next 6 months?
Well, we started a new program with a school in Idaho, and it's an assembly program. And I think the assembly program is a great way to reach all kids, because not 100% of kids play sports, but 100% of kids go to school or listen to music, right? So we've been trying to do new ways. So a school, we're not so much into the after-school program, but like a school setting or a tribal community. We have a grant with the city of Seattle. We work with the urban Native youth population. So I would say people who have kids at the top of their pyramid.
All right, here I come. I almost feel like Sandman, except in a good way. Right? Okay, Jackie, here's the question. How are you tracking the youth and using what measure of success?
So what we do is obviously bigger than sports. We partnered with the Harvard School of Medicine Division of Addiction to compromise a survey that we give to our kids that is culturally appropriate and culturally focused. And we use that data to give back to our communities on what trends that we're seeing for their youth and how we can change our outreach and our programming. So that's how we track our kids, and we also give the tribes data back, because as you all know, when you're seeking funding through grants or other things, it's all data. It's all data driven. So right now we're on track to serve 5,000 kids this year by the end of 2023.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Give it up for Jackie McCormick and Rise Above.
Well done. Jordan, what'd you think, my man?
Well, first of all, I'm telling you, it's a challenge to get up here and present your business to get shredded by a bunch of strangers. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy. So we appreciate your vulnerability to all of the presenters and sharing everything that you're excited about in your world. So thanks.
Well, well, let's give it up.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Absolutely.
This is why we do this. 9 years ago and a half, I just literally put on an event. And I said, all right, we're going to do 99 seconds. And we tripped upon this format that challenges people to figure out what to say in 99 seconds. And it's hard. It's hard. Okay? So I give everyone that steps on a Founders Live stage around the world huge credit. Yeah. So incredible. But you can feel the energy in this room. These people live, die, breathe, At some point,
I mean, they had to let go of their old self. If that's what you
something
mean.
died and then something was reborn. There you go. But they sleep it. They think it. This is their vision. This is their purpose. And weirdly enough, then you get on a stage and it's like hard to talk about it, you know. But that's why we're here. So this is amazing. But time is now. So here's what we're gonna do, everyone. We're gonna, definitely take out your phone. You can. If you want to take a picture.
You're standing in the way of the QR code, Nick. They're not taking a photo of you.
We're going to take about 10 minutes and vote, right? So you have a little time to do this. We're going to turn on the music. Food is now available. The bar is open. We're going to take a few minutes. We're going to hang out. We're going to vote. Do I have a question in the audience? Yeah. Does that influence your vote, though? Well, I'm going to cover two real quick things. Which one resonated with you the most? Which one, it doesn't have to be the biggest business. That's not what Founders Live's about. This is which pitch did you enjoy? Which one resonated with you? You make your own decision. The winners, a few things. They receive, well, first of all, it's just a vote of confidence right here. Even though everyone had a great pitch, the winners, emerge as the winning pitch of the night or day. They also win a year's worth of Founders Live membership, professional boost membership valued at $1,000, which is great. They get that for free. That's awesome. They get interviewed on our podcast. They get exposure across our ecosystem. And then they move on to advance into what's called Founders Live Primetime. And that's our global competition where they can now essentially battle for a position for North America in our global competition that happens in November, Founders Live Primetime. So a lot of good stuff. And we have a lot of other offers and awesome stuff from our partners and sponsors in addition to that. So that's what's at stake. Let's take 10 minutes. Let's turn the music back on. And food and drink are available. And then we'll be back on stage to announce the winner.
Stop so far from where I was. Not too long ago, your skin was mine to hold. I let you climb the wall, I took myself apart. Told me that you couldn't love something so dark. So if the best of me is all you care to see, baby, I'm asking you now. If it's dead, do us part. Can you hold me underwater? Keep me deep in the dark, where my heart is yours to slaughter. If it's dead, do us part. Can you hold me underwater? Keep me deep in the dark. Can you hold me
about you, about you, about you. Miss
All those little things that you do, all the things I never wanna have to miss about you. Staying up till 2:15. Lights down, dancing in your living room. All those little things that you do, all the things I never wanna have to miss about you, about you, about you, miss about you, about you, about you. All those little things that you do, all the things I never wanna have to miss about you. Staying up till 2:15. Lights down, dancing in your living room. All those little things that you do, all the things I never wanna have to miss about you. She take my money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold way of time that takes on me. She take my money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger. Way of town that takes on me. Oh, that takes on me. I'm saying she's a gold digger. Ain't messing with the love. I'm saying she's a gold digger. Ain't messing with the love. I'm saying she's a gold digger. Ain't messing with the love. I'm saying she's a gold digger. Ain't messing with the when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger. Way of town that takes on me. Oh, that takes on me. She take my money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger. Way of town that takes on me. Oh, that takes on me. I'm saying she's a gold digger. Ain't messing with the love. I'm saying she's a gold digger. Ain't messing with the love. I'm saying she's a gold digger. Ain't messing with the love. I'm saying she's a gold digger. Ain't messing with the love. Thank you for sharing your story.
All right. All right, everyone. I know we got some food going, we got some drinks, we're chatting, but we have a winner. So let's come back over to the seats in the stage. Yep, I'm breaking up these conversations. You'll be able to restart them, but we have some results. All right, everyone. Let's make our way back over here. You'll have an opportunity to chat some more, to grab some food, grab a drink. But let's come over here to celebrate these incredible presenters. Well, the crowd has spoken, and our winner of today's Founders Live Athletes All-Star Edition is Postseason Angelani. Grab a mic.
Let's go.
Congratulations. Let's hear it for Jelani. Postseason. Man.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're opportunity to spend a little more time with the winner. This is great. You know, I didn't get a chance to ask too many questions. You know, Jelani, we were able to get to know each other over the last few months, and especially on Saturday. But maybe speak about why do you feel this is so important? Like, why do you feel that postseason must be in this world and reach, hey, it's not just professional athletes. It's actually college athletes. We heard from high school. Why is this so important to be in the world?
I think it's so important because athletes, we have a lot of influence outside of just sports. I mean, fans watch us, they look up to us, little kids. And when we have athletes that are doing incredible things in business, this is inspiring generations. This is really a ripple effect that can do so much more than just helping out that one particular athlete. And so when you help these individuals transition and you start to allow them to utilize their expertise, monetize off of the things that they've learned, I mean, you're really empowering a whole generation of athletes, like you said, high school, college, and after the fact, it really adds a ripple because these individuals are going to go on to inspire generations, kids who have never played sports, just individuals who look up to these athletes and see what they're doing. So,
well, and you know, Jelani, what I pick up and you know, what I gather from what you're doing around, you know, just helping them understand. I think the thing is, this is barely even talked about. And, you know, when Jordan and I initially met, and Rob Turbin, who is not here today, but he been a part of this as well, former Seahawk, they both really explained to me that there's literally a death. That's why I did say death earlier. There's literally like a point, like it's like psychologically, they don't really know what to do. And you've dealt with it too. And this is so important, and it's not just professional athletes. It's like you've done something for most of your life, and it's done.
if I could just share a story. A couple of weeks ago, one of my heroes passed away very tragically. His name was Akeem Hebron, and going into Good Counsel High School in Maryland, he wore number 3. He was the person who I really wanted to be like. He was a linebacker. He was like one of the first really high-known players out of Maryland. He ended up going to the University of Georgia. He was like 5 years older than me. His first season in Georgia, he had like a major injury, broke his foot, it like went backwards. He had surgery, ended up getting addicted to painkillers. never quite got back to where he was supposed to be. He didn't make it professionally. He was supposed to make it professionally. 4 years out of retirement, he was still addicted to those initial painkillers that he was dealing with his injury. And sadly, his mother, like a month ago, found him after having done with some other things that were a lot more harder than that on the ground. And so going to his funeral was very purposeful. It was a weird situation. This is somebody who I looked up to, and this is also exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so when you talk about the impact that's being created, it's not just the ripple that athletes will be able to, impact the world, but it's also that one individual that is trying hard for their life. So, yeah.
Wow. And there's thousands, maybe millions of stories like that, right? So let's hear it one more time. This is amazing. All the presenters would like you to come to the stage over here. We're going to make sure we get a picture, and we're going to celebrate all these presenters today. So, Megan, can we make, I don't know where you are, but let's make sure you're over here capturing the picture. Jordan, where are you at? Oh. Come up. As we are closing out this portion, I want to say a shout out and a celebration for all the team, for T-Mobile and wholesale, as well as this tech experience. Let's give it up for T-Mobile and all their team that made this happen. Thank you so much. All right. Just incredible. All right. As we move forward, want to thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Stick around for the food and drink. We've got, look, open bar, food available. Let's make sure that that is just complete, all right? If you want to stick around, we are gathering at the Columbia Tower Club around 5:30. We have an after party, more available drinks and food. It's all provided, so come hang out with us if you want. It's at the Columbia Tower Club at the top of the building. If you have questions, come find me or the team. And hey, if you want to join us at the next one, we will be doing this in Vegas at the Super Bowl, our next athletes event. If you want to be a part of it, let us know. Scan that QR code. If you want to join us, help us if you have connections. But join us in Las Vegas in February 2024. Thank you all. Stick around. We can be in here for another hour or so. All right.